Welcome tankers! If you've been watching my videos, you've hopefully learned a whole bunch of different disparate skills, but we haven't really talked about how to put it all together yet. So in this video I'm going to play a whole battle from start to finish and talk through the choices I'm making and why I'm making them. Now here our team is a huge underdog and I'm a very low tier, so that changes things. I might typically choose to suicide scout over on the other side of the field, but in this case our team needs to kill or damage a whole bunch of tanks really fast to make up for the fact that the other team has much more skilled players. So I'm going to passive scout now. I need to be the one lighting as many tanks as possible and getting us as many free hits as possible. So I find a bush with a good view and get binoculars up, and you'll notice I'm not firing because I don't want to give my position away. Now so far here we've already got about 2,000 spotting damage, and that in itself would be a very good high scoring game, and even if we got one shot right now it would end up being okay. Now here, this scout is dangerous for me. I would have fired there if he hadn't gone behind the building, because I know he's gonna be spotting me, and unfortunately he does just as he goes behind the building, and it gives the Roomba time to shave off almost all my life. But luckily he wasn't using the top gun on the Roomba, as most drivers don't, and he didn't one-shot me. So I'm gonna wait here behind the hill in relative safety until I know I'm invisible again, and then I'm going to go back and get binoculars up, because again we need a fairly large lead to overcome a skilled opponent such as we have here. And again, I'm not shooting because I don't want to be spotted, so we're just gonna sit here and passively light as many people as we can. Now here, I noticed the front corner of my tank was peeking out from the bush, and if you know the spotting mechanics, every 2 seconds your tank sends out a beam and checks for other tanks it can spot, and one of the spotting points is on each corner of your tank. So you want the front corners and your turret behind bushes as much as possible. So my front corner, my spotting point was visible there, so I made sure I pulled back and covered it by the bush, just in case. Now again, we're just going to be passively scouting and lighting as many of the opponents as we can possibly light. And unfortunately the shot here hits the rock and the Waffenträger escapes. And we get spotted, so again we pull back behind the berm here and wait until we go invisible. And I'm moving back and forth, constantly moving in case people from 200 or 300 meters away have shots at me, and hopefully they will miss. Now again, I wait till I'm invisible and back into the bush, get binocs up again. And you'll notice the work we've done so far has given our team a substantial lead. We've killed twice as many enemy tanks as they've killed of ours. All because we got some passive scouting lights and our team fired on them from safety. Now here I risk a shot at the side of the turret, because the side of turrets are usually pretty weak, and you'll notice I did not get spotted, which is very interesting because that means there is probably no one closer to me than these guys here. If there was anyone closer than maybe 250 meters with a clear line of sight to me, I should have been spotted there. So I know I'm actually fairly safe here now. I can fire with impunity without any worry of getting spotted. So when you're passive scouting, that's just a dream. That's what you hope for. You hope to get a good spot and be able to fire, because normally you can't fire at all, ever, or else you'll be dead within seconds. But here I've got a great spot where I can spot everyone, and I can shoot freely at anyone else, like these guys hundreds of meters away up on the hill. And we probably aren't going to do too much damage to them, but you know, we can switch to HE, and HE bounces a lot more nowadays, but sometimes it still does damage, and if you shoot gold, you'll often penetrate from long distances. So again, we're still sitting in our bush, spotting everyone in the field, and luckily we have free reign to rain shots down at anyone over in the east. Now you'll notice for the last couple minutes, I haven't really been spotting anything, and I haven't made much of a difference, and our team has lost its lead.
We didn't even scratch them.
But there's not much else I can do, because I know there's people over here on the shelf that will kill me if I move from my position.
Penetration.
And now here, I'm pretty sure the Roomba is the only tank that could have spotted me there, and he went behind a hill, so I'm pretty sure I am safe from any fire right now, even though I'm spotted. So you'll notice I didn't hide as much as I normally would. And the Roomba comes out a bit too far and spots us as we kill him. But luckily, the people that do have shots at us are occupied with our friends over in the east, so we don't take really very much incoming fire, and we are invisible again. So now, if you've been watching my videos, you'll be paying more attention to the minimap, and you'll notice that now we know where everyone is but their arty, and all their tanks are in the field. So I would think about going around the other way and going to kill their arty, but the Waffenträger's in a spot where he could theoretically kill me. So I'm more worried about the Waffenträger than going to get their arty right now. So I'm gonna try and sneak up on him, and hopefully maybe we'll get up behind him, or at least spot him, and our teammates can shoot him. And luckily we spotted him, and we saw his gun coming towards us, so we knew we were spotted before 6th Sense came up, and it allowed us to dodge that first shot. Now you have 10 seconds to get to the spot right behind a tank that just fired at you, like the Waffenträger that has roughly a 10-second reload, and that was more than enough time to get from where I was to behind him, and now he was in trouble. And you'll notice I paused there at the rock to get another shot in on him, and to trick him into shooting a bad shot at me, which gave me all the time in the world to sneak around the rock and kill him, or set him up so that our team could kill him. And that kill right there got us the epic medal for light tanks called the Orlix medal. And now it's just cleaning up a couple RD and one more TD. Now here I'm trying to shoot at his track and track him, but it bounces, and then I bounce another shot, luckily right before he shoots at me. But luckily there was a hill there and we could have hit. And then Artie throws a blind shot, misses by a mile, but still kills us. And that was a 14,000 win 8 game, and win 8 doesn't even count spotting damage, and we did 5,357 spotting damage. So that was a rather high scoring game.